Welcome on to the next of our videos. Today we're talking about how often should you run. Is there a sweet spot? How many days a week? Is it okay to run 7 days a week? And what do you need to do to get the most out of your body from a running performance? My name is Brad. I'm from CoachParry.com, where we help you become fitter, faster and stronger. And we're joined today by our head coach, Lindsey Parry, to talk all about how often and the frequency that you should be running every single week, and is there a place for run streaks? That's all coming up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. All you need to do is hit the button that's on the screen right now so that you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Welcome back on Coach. Great to catch up. And today on the video, we're talking about how often you should run. Let's answer that question first, Lindsey, before we talk about is it okay to run every day? But realistically, how often should a person run?
That's a little like asking me how big should a tree be. Yeah, so look, it really depends on many factors. So when we look at how often someone should run, we are looking at the runner's experience, looking at the runner's age, we're looking at the runner's goals, and we're looking at the runner's ability. And those are all really the factors that you want to take into account. So I would say that the average person who's running to be fit and to achieve goals, in particular distance goals, like even finishing marathons and ultras, that has a full-time job, and then even more so if they are, have family responsibilities and things that need to be taken care of around the home. I'd say 4 days a week is plenty, certainly not more than 5. And with full, besides the people really pushing the kind of performance envelope, getting to that kind of sub 3 hour-ish range marathoner, your sub 84 minutes 21k runner, your sub 38, 39, 10k runner, that sort of band of runner may run 5 or 6 days a week, but for the rest of us, we should be aiming for 4 to 5 days of running per week, because you get enough loading in 4 days of training, and then having those 3 days where you aren't running allows you to work on important things like strength training, adding in possible cross training, which in your kind of average runner will bring more benefits, because we're removing the eccentric load, which is when our muscles are lengthening as our legs are hitting the ground, which is our higher risk for causing injuries and overuse injuries. So you'll get more benefit from adding, say, cycling or elliptico than you will from adding in more running.
Lindsey, what about the guys and girls who want to run 7 days a week? You talk about the optimum, the sweet spot. Is it okay to run 7 days a week if somebody wants to?
It's okay to run 7 days a week. You need to be careful about how you then distribute your load. You've got to have days that are really short and really are super, super easy. And I guess that's kind of your run streak, people that have to run something. Be open to having a day where you only go out for 20 minutes, for example, and a very, very slow and easy 20 minutes, because we can all run 7 days a week, but we're not all going to get better on 7 days a week. In fact, most people on 7 days a week are going to break down with an overuse injury. So if you are going to do 7 days of running per week, and it's important that it's actually running, you just really need to be careful how you plan those days, and you need to be open to a minimum of one very short, easy day. But again, I would encourage 2.
I know, I mean, you've given us the answer, but is there any benefit that you see that someone could get for running 7 days a week?
Look, in the elite athletes, yes, because there are certain developments in running economy that only happen when you really run a lot. And to be able to run that much, we need to spread that load across the 7 days. But as you get slower and your biomechanical inefficiencies become more obvious and more of a handicap, you also at a much higher risk of developing overuse injuries. So, in the average population, and even in your quite fast amateur runner, I would say that 7 days a week is asking for trouble, because you don't have the downtime that an elite athlete has. You don't have the available recovery currency that they have, and so you will run into trouble at some stage.
Lindsey, just on the following up from that question, what are some of the signs to look out for? Like if you are running, as you say, like if you're an amateur athlete, you're running 7 days a week, what are some of the signs to look out for that you are overdoing it, that you should back off because you're pushing yourself into this hole and you could be picking up an injury which will force you to stop running?
Probably the two most obvious are loss of appetite and or trouble sleeping. So you're falling asleep easily, perhaps, but then you're waking up or having quite restless night's sleep, because those both, the loss of appetite and that disrupted sleep, are both signs of increased cortisol level, increased stress hormones, indicating that you aren't recovering properly. And the other kind of they're also obvious, but in many ways they're also subtle. Because of modern lifestyles, it is kind of normal for us to be tired and feel tired, but we don't want to be feeling tired all the time. We often ignore that as it's just work pressure, but that would be another pretty good sign that you aren't coping. You shouldn't be exhausted all the time. You're training, you should be fit, you should actually have more energy than the people around you.
Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. Don't forget, if you don't want to miss any of our upcoming videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button over here. You can also download a free strength training plan over here. That is if you want to shave minutes off your marathon time. Also, be sure to check out our most popular video over here, and our latest video is right over here.